How's it going, guys? It's been a while since I'm on my F800R. Today's weather is really nice after a couple weeks of raining. Taking my bike out just to charge the battery a little bit and just do a quick reflection on what's going on with my F800R and also the DJI Osmo Action 5 that I'm using to do the vlogging on, and the reason I haven't vlogged for a while. Okay, so remember I posted a video a couple months ago when I first got my Quickshifter. Okay, right now I'm using my Quickshifter. You can see my hand is not doing anything. Okay, just using my my lever to shift. So the Quickshifter, at the very beginning, I've also posted the videos about it having issues shifting erratically. I think that was related to the fact it was my shifting lever's bushing is actually worn. So my shifting lever is not precise, and I figured that out when I noticed the excessive free play on my shifting lever, my foot lever. So I went online, I ordered brand new bushing. That actually made the quick shifting performance a lot more smooth with the Heel-Tech quick shifter. Okay, so not complaining with a quick shifter, but still occasionally it is doing that weird empty shifting into the void between gear 4 and 5. And I went online, so I don't think this is entirely the Quickshifter's fault. Apparently, people have been having issues shifting into force neutral even without the Quickshifter. Okay, so again, I wouldn't be blaming the Heel-Tech for shifting for force neutral. I think it's mostly the bike's design in terms of the how the shifting plates is meshed together and things like that. But force neutral, yeah, I still get it nowadays once in a while, but since now I know it happens most often from 4th gear to 5th gear, I kind of just make sure my shifting between 4 and 5 is like really firm and affirmative and quick. That eliminated most of the issues, so it's not happening that often now. Okay, like maybe very occasionally. So for anybody thinking about getting a quick shifter, it definitely makes your riding a lot more enjoyable, especially urban riding. Okay, I don't have to pull my lever to upshift, which is always a great plus. I just have to pull my lever to downshift once a while. So that is really good. The second thing I want to talk about is I actually did a engine coolant flush. The original coolant from the previous owner was like a yellowish piss looking coolant, water juice, whatever it is. I promptly replaced it with BMW coolant, and now the cooling performance has gotten so good that my fan hasn't kicked on for a while during riding, which is pretty amazing. So yeah, the coolant temperature stays between 2 and 3 bars. And again, I haven't noticed my fan kick on, which is not the case before. Before, my fan kicks on quite often. Now, my fan doesn't kick on, which is really nice. Okay, so that is good. Coolant got flushed, and previously I did the oil change. So the bike is running very smoothly now, absolutely no issues, and super fun to ride. It's brand new chain. Really happy about the bike now, and quite honestly, before I was looking around thinking what kind of things I could do to make this bike even better, and I think I've reached that point where I think this bike is pretty good. Okay, so we can wrap up about the bike issue and what's happening for the bike, the next thing, okay, is what I'm using to record this video, the Osmo Action 5. So I treat my video recording gear very, very carefully, okay, and to the point I never drop it, and I always open and close all those doors super gentle, super light. Couple weeks ago, I was trying to open up the battery door. I slided the battery door open, and I tried to I tried to open the battery door when the slider is at unlocked position. And somehow that plastic piece, the top part of the battery door, just split in half, like literally with no force at all, just magically split in half. I'm still in warranty. I have like 2 months left on the 12-month warranty. I've had this for about a year. For the most part, I had no complaints. But I sent the battery door back thinking, yeah, for sure, this is a manufacturing defect because it's, one, impact is not caused by me. Second, there is no impact. The battery door literally just falls apart. I sent this back to DJI. They give me a return. They generated a return label for me, no charge. I shipped it back. They received it within about a week, and immediately I received a quote for quote-unquote battery door frame was damaged, kind of a repair, and they quoted me $95, $25 for the parts, and I think $65 or $75 to fix for the labor to fix it. And which is outrageous. So I went on to the customer service portal and I started a chat. I complained about, the reason it falls apart is a manufacturing defect. The plastic was weak and no impact, it just falls apart. And they give me a standard canned response as, oh, we're gonna investigate. Can you give me your DJI Mimo account? And then we can, analyze your data, see if you ever dropped it, and then hopefully waiving the repair fee. I said, okay, so here's my Mimo account. So I give them my Mimo account. Within 2 days, they went back and saying, oh, we determined that, this is still your fault because the battery door falls apart. And it must have been done due to some sort of impact and damage that you caused. They gave me a $10 discount, so in the end I had to pay $85 to freaking get my Osmo Action 5 back. And they give me the part to repair it. Again, the part supposedly costs $15, okay? And no fix was done. Like, they literally just give me a brand new battery door that was not even installed on the Osmo Action 5 and send it straight back to me. So obviously I told them battery door's broken, just need a replacement on the warranty. They didn't listen. They still charged me for the repair, which they didn't repair. They just give me a part that I found out I can purchase elsewhere for like $15 to $20. So for that part, I'm very disappointed at DJI for this kind of practice where they find weird excuses to deny your warranty. And based on this experience, I would say next time if I'm buying a DJI product, I might just want to spend that extra money to actually purchase the protection, the DJI refresh or whatever, the protection plan. Because with that plan, they give you a replacement with a deductible, I believe a low deductible, with no questions asked. And I think that's probably the best approach in that regard when it comes to getting your camera repaired rather quickly with minimum amount of questions, and also avoid potentially extremely costly labor repairing when there isn't any repairing needed. All it needs is just a replacing of a defective part, which is that battery door. Okay, so with that said, again, that's why I haven't had a vlog update, because my camera was out in repair, and Literally, they just gave me a replacement battery door, and that's it. They didn't even repair the camera. So I don't understand why they charged me $75 for repair. Outrageous, right? But again, this concludes the ride. I was just trying to get my bike dried up a little bit, get the engine warmed up, and then also get the battery charged, since I haven't rode it in a couple weeks due to the rain. And also, I'm glad I had the chance to talk about the Osmo Action 5, which again is back onto my helmet. So hopefully I can have more vlog for you guys. Either the F800R or my newly acquired Elite 110, which I actually quite like it quite a lot as well. Okay, so both the scooter and the bike has its place in the city, but I'm excited to be able to continue with the vlog. So that's it. Thanks guys again for watching my vlog and listening to me babbling about things happening. Okay, and so like, subscribe, check out my motorcycle scooter playlist, and stay tuned for new videos. All right, so take care, ride safe on the road, and peace.